everyone, I'm Emma, this is Emma Rosen Books. As I draw nearer to the release date of my book is called Milk, by the way, to anyone who's new to this channel, and is due out in October, I just keep thinking about what next. I've been writing this book, including editing and everything, for 8 years. I started writing it 8 years ago. And so, for an awful lot of that time period, for one part it seemed like I would never actually write it, then it seemed like it would never get published, and now it's real, it's going to happen. And so the times when I kind of thought about, well, after you write this one you're going to write another one, and I am actually going to have to do that now, and I'm starting to think about, okay, what's that project going to be? This particular project has been a part of my life for so long, it seems weird to be thinking about something else. And I now own my own publishing company and going into business as a writer. I've made the decision, this is my life now, so I've got to write another book. And I have a few different options, and I'm just at the moment thinking about where to start. And I just wanted to share those thoughts with you and kind of wondered what other people think. One idea that I've had going around my head for a little while is another non-fiction idea. My book is a memoir about breastfeeding, which is interwoven with non-fiction stuff about politics and history and science of breastfeeding and parenting and all that stuff. And so I feel like, well, then am I a non-fiction writer? So I should write another non-fiction book. And I have an idea for something that I'm really interested in learning more about and writing about. But writing non-fiction, although I've loved it, is very time consuming because of the level of research, and I don't know, I feel like it's just a more involved, long-winded process and quite heavy. And I don't know whether, after all of the work that I've put into Milk, my book that's coming out, whether I'm ready to start again with a similar scale project. I don't know. But I have some other ideas, so maybe I could write a children's book. I've had an idea for a series of children's books, like picture books. For years and years and years, this particular series has been in my mind. And I know 2 people as well that are possible candidates for illustrating, and I love the idea of working with an artist that's somebody that I know. It feels like that would be a really fun, really creative project. So I'm kind of tempted, because also I feel like, I know that children's writing isn't something to just be dismissed as, oh well, that's easy, because you've got to think very carefully about the words that you use and the way that you tell a story, but I think that would be fun and a nice project after something that was quite heavy and emotional. Another idea I've had is for a middle grade book. And part of the kind of concept is that I really want to write it with my son. My son is just coming up for 8, and he's just seems to have a really good grasp of writing, and he reads so much. And I like the idea of planning out the book with him, and him writing chunks, and then me kind of editing it and then adding bits in. And I think it could be a really fun, rewarding experience, and I don't know how much commitment he'd have to it, but it could be very cool. Maybe that would have to be quite a slow process to allow him to just do little bits, and every time I've kind of tried to talk to him about it, his ideas have been interesting. But then part of me thinks, well, if you're going to write a book for your kids, then you've got to use kids' ideas. But I think that would be a really cool project to do. And then finally, I've got an idea for a fiction book. I've had all sorts of ideas over the years for fiction books, and recently I've had this one that's kind of a bit of a finding yourself kind of a story, finding where you belong. And it came to me the other day, and I thought, oh, that could be really interesting and fun. And I like the idea of how the story could weave together, and I've had the idea of a few of the characters in the book. And I don't know, I feel like with a fiction story you have to let the idea burn for a while just in case it turns out it's a terrible idea. because I always think everything's amazing and inspiring, and then once you've let it go on for a while, sometimes you go, was a terrible idea. But I do like the idea of writing fiction and making up a world or characters or whatever. This actually wouldn't be, this would be set in the real world, so, but still, you know, building a group of people, and I think that would be really fun. But I do have reservations about, you know, am I now a non-fiction writer? Does that matter? I feel quite inspired by watching Bethany, I don't know how to say her surname, Bethany Altazadar, sorry if I said that wrong, that she, her second book, so her first book is like a fantasy book, and her second book is a children's book, and I love that she's done that, and I feel like I want to write all kinds of different books, and I don't know if that would mean that then if I had like a real fan that loved one of my books, that then if I bring out something totally different they're going to be like, you know, or that people won't be able to pigeonhole me, or it'll be difficult to sell, or like how do I market myself, and where do I just don't know. I don't know whether I should stick to a genre, but then I feel like that's really boring and that's not who I am, because I am the kind of person that's interested in all sorts of things and wants to try all sorts of different things, so I really don't know. And I don't know whether to plan out all the various ideas I have and see which one I feel passionate about, or which plan seems the most doable, or whether I should pick one and work on that. I don't know. At the moment I'm in the thinking phase, that while I'm working on finishing up bits with my book and thinking about the marketing of it, and that's my focus, that this is kind of a fun thinking exercise, but at some point obviously it's going to have to turn into a real book. So I don't know. Leave me comments below of what you think. Like, does it matter that a writer writes in a particular genre? And what would you do? You know, how would you choose what to write? Because I don't know. At this point in time, and I might have another idea. And I've got notebooks full of scribbled down ideas anyway, so I might end up going with something totally different anyway. But yeah, leave me a comment if you'd like to, and like this video if you did, and please subscribe for more book and writing videos. I make one booktube and one authortube video every week, and you can check out all my other social media links below. I'll see you all next time.